Everyone, welcome to the dynamic programming series of videos. Today we will discuss one important problem from dynamic programming series, that is subset sum equal problem. So the problem statement is we will be given with one array and one number also will be given to us. So we have to find if we pick few numbers from here and add them, can we form this number or not? If you check here, if we take 4 and 5, then I can form this number by adding them. For example, 2. 2 is not possible. From this array, if you pick any number, you can't form 2. 10 is possible because if you add 4 and 6, then you can form 10. 7 is possible. If you add 3 and 4, you can form 7. 8 is not possible because there is no number present. If you add them together, then 8 will form. So the question is simple. You will be given with one array. We have to find is there any subset present or not, where if we add them, then it will be equal to a given number or not. So what approach we can follow here? One thing is there is a difference between subset and subarray. Subset means any random numbers you can pick from this array regardless of their index position. But subarray means it will be continuous things. Means 3 to 4 may be a subarray. 3 to 4, 5 will be a subarray. 4, 5, 6 is a subarray. But 3, 5, 6 is not a subarray. That is a subset. So what we can do is we can get all the subset possible from this array. Let's say these are all the subsets possible from this array. Maybe few modes are also present, but for simplicity I am writing down few. Okay. Then suppose we have to find this number 9 is present or not. If we add them, then we can do a simple addition, like in 3 it is not possible, 3 plus 4 is 7, not possible, 3 plus 4 plus 5 it is 12, then here also it is not possible, but 4 plus 5 if we add it is 9, then we will get our answer. But imagine if the array length is very big, it's a this kind of sizes array, so we have 3, 4, 5 row length, and if we add one number from here and here and here, then you will get the desired number k. But for that purpose, if we have to create all the subset, that will be huge in number. One single number is also a subset. Okay. And if you take 3 numbers, 2 numbers, 5 numbers, there are so many possibilities are present for the number of subsets. And then if we have to go back and check each and every element by adding them, if it is equal to k or not. So to solve it quickly, we can take help of dynamic programming here. And how to do that, I will explain you next. Now we have to check how we can solve this problem and why dynamic programming is required for this. Suppose this is the given array to me and I have to check if there are any subset present or not. If we add them, 6 we can form or not. Let's say you know, it is known to you that 7 we can form out of this array. It is known to you. But you have to find that 9 we can form or not. By any chance, if you get to know that 2 also we can form, then you are good to go, right? Like 7 plus 2 if you do, then 9 also you can get. That means one previously computed result can help you to proceed further for the bigger numbers. That's why if we check from 0, that 0 we can form out of it or not, then we can check 1 we can form out of this 3, 4, 2, 5 or not, then 2, then 3, then 4, then 5, then 6. Then in this journey, the previous result will help me to check if we can form 6 or not out of this 3, 4, 2, 5, these 4 numbers. So this is the beauty of dynamic programming. We have to take small steps and then you have to check if it is possible. Then using that result, we have to go forward. So what we will do is we have to check from 0 to 6 all these numbers or the result we can form using this 4 number 3, 4, 2, 5 or not. So for that purpose, to calculate this result and keep it somewhere, we need a table kind of structure. That is actually known as DP table or tabulation technique. Now in this table, you can start from here in this direction. You can keep the number, that is for 0 it is possible or not, we will check, then for 1, then for 2, then for 3, then for 4, 5 and 6. And what are the things we will use? First, I will not use any number, that is 0. Then we will make use of 3. Then we will make use of 3 and 4 both. Then we will make use of 3, 4 and 2. Then 5. So these are the numbers which are present in the array, and these are the result which we want from 0 till the kth number, right? Now our DP tabulation technique we will apply on this. So our table is formed. Now what we have to check is, we will take one bucket kind of thing, and instead of 6, 5, 3, we can think about it's a capacity kind of thing. So first what we have to do is, first for 0 we will create all the calculation. Suppose for 0 the capacity of this bucket is also 0. Now if I am here, I have to say, using 0 can we fill this? Yes, obviously. So if we take 0 here, obviously using 0 we can fill this. So yes, we can do this, so it will be true. Now we have to go to 1. Means now if the capacity is 1, can I fill it using 0? No. So it will be false. And it will be false for all this case also, because if our capacity is 2 here, then using 0 we can't fill this. Then the capacity will increase to 3, 4, 5, 6. For every case it will be false. So I will quickly fill. Means from the first row it is clear that if the capacity is from 0 to 6, using 0, how many bucket I can fill up? Only 0 I can fill up. Apart from that, nothing I can fill up. Now we have to again take our capacity of the bucket to 0. But this time we got a new friend, that is 3. So using 0 and 3, I can fill this up or not, I have to check. 0 capacity we can obviously fill with 0. We no need 3, right? So it will be true. Or a simple thing is, if your above cell is true, simply put true. Because if your above cell is able to fill up, then no need to include yourself there, and obviously it will be true, right? So now we have to check for 1. If our capacity is now 1, we have to check using 0 and 3 we can fill this up or not. Upper cell is false, that means 0 not able to fill this up. Now I have to check 3 can fill this up or not. But 3 is greater than 1, right? So it is not possible. So it will be false. And it will be false for 2 also, because 0 not able to fill this up and 3 is greater than 2. So for the capacity 2 also, it will be false. So whenever we will get a new entry, if the new entry's weight is greater than the number, then that time it will be false mostly, right? So now we have to check for the weight 3. So I am taking here the example as a weight or bucket kind of thing, but actually it's a number and its summation. Okay. For simplicity, I am putting it as a capacity kind of thing, and I am checking if I can fill this up or not. So if my capacity is 3 now, and I have 0 in 3 in my hand, so can I fill this up? With 0, I can't fill. With 3, yes. If I drop 3 here, I can fill this up. So it will be a true. Now I have to check for 4. So 0 and 3 is there. So no way it is possible that we can fill 4 using this 2. How to check this in mathematically or programmatically is, if your above cell is false, that means we have to check the new weight minus this weight. So if we do a 4 minus 3, then it will become 1. So we have to check previously what is the value for 1. that is false. That means it is not possible. Now if we check for 5, then what it will be? So it is false. 5 minus 3 is 2. So 2 is also false here. That means it will be also false here. And it is true also, right? Using 0 and 3 you can't fill 5. And same will happen to for 6 also. So it will be also false. Now when we will come to this row, one thing to notice is for 0, using all these things, all will be true only. Because 0 capacity, if we include all also, if we don't take them, then it is true. We will able to fill this up. Now if we go to this row, here what we will find is we got one new person to help us, that is 0, 3, 4. Using those things, I have to check if I can fill up 1 or not. We can't, because 4 is greater than 1 and the above cell is already false. So here it will be false. Then we have to check if we can fill up 2 or not. 2 is also not possible, what we can see from the picture. But programmatically if we check, upper cell is false and 4 is greater than 2, then there is no need to take consideration. Here what will happen if our capacity is 3, that time it will be easy. 3 I can put and we are done. And it is saying that thing also because the upper cell is already true. So we can directly place this value. We don't have to calculate anything. Now here it is 4. So for capacity 4, what we have to check is upper cell is false. But if we do a 4 minus 4, that is 0. So if we go to the 0th row, for the above cell it is true. And it is true also, right? So if we directly put the 4 here, then we are done. So it is true. Now we have to check for 5. Capacity 5 using 0, 3 and 4. Upper cell is false. So if we do a 5 minus 4, that is 1. If we go to 1, it is false. That means it is not possible. And from the picture also you can see it is not possible also. Now we have to change it to 6. 6 we have to create using 0, 3 and 4. Upper cell is false. 6 minus 4 is 2. If we go to 2, it is false. That means not possible. And same we can check from the picture also. Now in this row, we have a new entry called 2. So now using these 4 numbers, we have to check if we confirm the other things or not. And we have to start with 1. So the capacity is 1. Using all these numbers, it is not possible. Because the above cell is also false in this case. Now for 2, is it possible? Yes, for 2 it is possible because if we upper cell is false but 2 minus 2 will be 0. If you go to 0, this cell is true. So it is true, and from picture point of view also it is true because 2 if you put here, it will be fine. Now for 3, we don't have to check because upper cell is already true. We will simply place it true. We will simply place it. You can find in picture also if we have to place here 4. So that time what will happen? Directly we can take this 4, right? Now for the say 5. So for 5 what will happen? We will check now. So for 5 what we can see is 5 already is false, upper cell is. So 5 minus 2 will be 3. So if we go to 3, it is true. That means it will be true. And it is true also. If we place 3 here and then 2 here, then we can form 5. So here is the beauty of dynamic programming. The thing is, I know that I can contribute to 2. Here if you check, I can contribute to 2. Then I am checking 5 minus 2, that is 3. That remaining 3, anyone already contributed or not. So that's why I am going to this third cell and then checking, yes, it is true. Means using 3, you can fill this up. So 3 you can already filled up and I am contributing 2, then both 3 plus 2 together 5, then we are good to go. That's why it is true. Now we have to check the same thing for 6 also. For 6 the above cell is false. Then 6 minus 2 is 4. So if we go to cell 4, it is true. Then it is also true. That means 4 and 2 together can form 6 and we are good to go also. Now we have to check for this number 5. So we got a new entry 5 and again we have to start from 1. 1 is possible? No, it is not possible because 5 is greater than 1. So it is false. Above cell is true. So we will directly place true, true, true. And for everyone now it is true. Okay. And we can check randomly also. Here if you check for 6. So here if it is checking for 6, then yes, 6 we can form, right? Because 4 we can place here and 2 we can place here, then it will form 6. So at the end, in the this corner actually, if it is true, that means that number we can form from this array. Okay. And you can stop in between also. If you check that right side, the last column, any value is true. Okay. So right side, if any value is true, then also you can stop because using 0, 3, 4 and 2 only, we able to form 6. That means if we don't go further also it is true because we need the answer as that using these numbers we can form 6 or not. So this is all about this program, like how to take help of dynamic programming to solve this part. Why tabulation we required here is you can take any example here. Suppose if you divide from here to here, that means what actually it is? Means we have to form the weight 3 using 0, 3, 4. Is it possible? Yeah, it is true. Any corner you can check. Suppose this corner if you check, the meaning is we have to form the weight 4 using 0, 3, 4, 2. It is true, means possible. But here if you check, that means this corner we have to form the weight 2 using 0, 3, 4. That is not possible. So this is the way we have to calculate. Next we will see the programming. Now we will quickly check how to write this program. So first we will define one DP two-dimension array where the array, the row number will be the number of element plus 1 because we have to include one 0 also. So 0, 3, 2, 5, 0, 3, 4, 2, 5. And what will be the columns? So whatever number is given to us, that plus 1. So total number of 6 plus 1, like 7 columns we required. Now the first thing we have to do is dp of 0 comma 0 will be true, means this cell will be true because to form 0 weight, if we have to form using 0, it is always true. Now rest of all will be false in this first row. So what we will do is j from 1 to j less than equal to m. M means actually the length for the columns. So all will be false, right? Because to form the row to weight 2, 3, 4, we can't take help of 0. And all this will be true because to form the weight 0, if you don't take this one, include them or not include them, it can form true. So from I to I plus 1, all this thing will be true. For the rest of the part, like from here to here, for the rest of the part, we have to apply to for loop. So one will be from I to n, another will be from j to m. First we are checking if array of I minus 1 in the above cell, it is greater than j or not. Okay. So if it is just simply greater than j, then we are just copying the result, right? Because if the new number has more capacity than the bucket itself, then no need to include me, just give me the previous result. I will just copy it. So that part is written here. Or else what you will check? I will check the difference. So the new number, so the means capacity minus the new number. So that will be the difference. So I have to check if my upper cell is already true, or else in that reference position it is true or not. Okay. If that is the case, then we have to include it. Okay. Means as true. So this program will fill up the rest of the part here. Rest of the part it will fill. Now I hope you understood this problem. So what will be the time complexity and space complexity in this case? So time complexity wise, as two for loop will max run here. So one will go to like row wise from 0 to n. N means the length plus 1, and one will go up to the sum plus 1. Okay, column wise. So it will be O of m into n, and space wise also it will be O of m into n, because this dp will take O of m into n space. Okay. One thing I have noticed in this problem is, if you sort this part, then maybe in the beginning only you can get the result, because say if the number is 2 here, instead of 6 we are checking for 2, means we can form 2 or not. Then obviously as 3, 4 and 5 is greater than 2, that means they will never contribute in this result. So instead of 3, 4, 2, 5, if you sort this one and put 0, 2, 3, then 4, then 5, maybe here only in the last column you will get the answer as true. Then no need to proceed further. So if you sort this particular part and then keep it in the row part, then maybe you can get help. And as I told that if you get the result as true in the last column in the any previous row, then you can stop also. So now I will show you the complete program, and each and everything is included there. So here is the complete program. So I have taken one class subset sum and I have defined that, and this is the array where I have to check, and I am passing 6 here. So this value I have to match, and it will return it is possible or not, and I am printing this one. I am calling this method, and as I told, like if you can sort it, then it will be helpful. In the beginning only you can get the answer. Then the n is equal will be array length plus 1, and m will be sum plus 1. This is the thing which we are passing. Then I am taking one boolean dp array of n and m length, then initializing 0 to 0 as true. Then I am filling up the false cases for the row 1, and all the columns for the first thing I am putting as true. Then I am putting this loop which I have shown you, and here I have taken one extra condition. So if already I have get the result in the last column, then I will return true, or else in the end I will return n minus 1 m minus 1. So that's it about the programming. Thanks for watching. I will put it in the description box, the GitHub link of the programming also.